everyone. As you can tell, I'm washing up jars and lids today. I want to can up some carrots. But I want to show you the process before I can things and what I look for. Like on my jars, when I open up a pack of jars, you want to look at the top and make sure there's no chips or anything. And when I'm washing, I make sure that there's no cracks. You know, you look at it good as you're washing it. No cracks or anything or fractures in it. No chips. And do not use a lid that's with it. And I'll explain why. You can reuse the rings over and over. You wash the rings and the lids. But you can use the lids for something else. You can use the lids for dry food, you know, different things. And this is why. When I pulled this lid off the jar, it was stuck on there tight. The lid was already compromised. See that ridge right there? It's already been compromised. This is a brand new lid. You can see the difference between the two. See, this one has the ring around it. This one does not. And when I get these lids, I keep them. I wash them and I keep them, but I put them in a bag labeled used. And I will use these for dry goods. You know, I put them on a jar, you know, with pasta in it or something. That I will reuse it for that. Or my dehydrated foods. You know, you put your moisture control in it and pack it in it and I put a used lid on that, and I will vacuum seal with used lid. As long as that ring's not too bad, you can reuse it with the vacuum seal. The new lids is what you want to use with canning. And when you do that, you want to make sure that it's even all the way around. There's no indents here or anything, and this coating looks nice and new. There's no mars or punctures or scratches in it because you can see where the light's hitting it. There's no mars or anything in it. That is a good canning lid. Now, if I was to use one, I had one here somewhere that had a spot in it. Here's one. This one was compromised. It's a small mouth jar, but see how the seal around, what I wasn't paying attention, it goes up higher here. See how it's more narrow up in this part than it is down through here. And when I went to can, this part did not allow my jar to seal. And all that food and everything settled up into this spot. And it just didn't seal. My chili didn't seal. I just let it. I knew it was compromised as soon as I seen it. The others popped and pinged pretty quickly. This one had lost some stuff in it. And I just waited till it cooled a little bit and stuck it in the fridge because I knew this wouldn't seal, and it didn't. It did not seal, and I'm glad I went ahead and checked that before letting it sit for 24 hours. But this one I will toss. This one will be thrown away. I have gotten them to where when they had a mar here on the inside of the lid, that's why I said check, because it rusts. When they had a little, excuse me, a little dent or a little scratch in here, or a little bit of a puncture, not puncture through the lid, but just enough to get this coating marred off, it rusted on my food. And I was like, holy crap, I didn't see that. So when I'm getting my lids, most people, you know, they don't check them. They just pull them out of the pack. Some people don't wash the lids, believe it or not. I do. I got to wash my lids. But they'll pull them out of the pack and just start sticking them on the jars. They don't look at the bottom of it to make sure it's all nice. And that's when you doing all that work. You want to make sure that your lids look good too. Because we are pressure canning these carrots that I'm going to can, we do not have to sterilize our jars. The USDA had changed the guidelines on that. If you are pressure canning foods, you do not have to sterilize your jars first. You do, however, have to if you do a water bath canning process. That's when you sterilize your jars. Because the pressure canning process kills everything in it. But they do suggest you wash them in hot, soapy water. And that's what I'm doing today. So follow along with me, and we are going to can some baby carrots. I'm putting hot water in it to an inch headspace. It's time to debubble. I cannot find my debubbler. It's plastic, so yeah, I'm using my butter knife. You're not supposed to use metal in a jar, especially because you could mar the jar and it compromises it and different things. But you got to make sure those bubbles are out. So I got to start looking. I don't know what I've done with my other canning stuff. Seems like tiny house. It seems like I would know where it is. It's not many places it could hide. But most people cut them up in cubes, but I don't want to cut my carrots up. I just want to do the whole. See, after debubbling this one, the water dropped a little. But not enough to worry about it. It's still an inch headspace. With a little, you can use the vinegar water on it. Usually use vinegar on things that, you know, has a little oil in it or something. But I use vinegar on a lot of things anyway. I will wipe it off with a little vinegar just to make sure fingers and stuff get the oils off. Put your lids on. Nice new lids that have been cleaned. 3 rings. Set them down in the canner. I'll make sure that this one is center of my thing so that when I shut this, and see how this shuts, it'll be center of this. So when I turn the lid, it will be between two jars, and it just helps with the canning process. From my understanding, from what I'm told. But I'm going to put my 3 jars in there. And it takes 8 cups of water. Oops, there's one. I'm putting hot water in. 8 cups is basically 2 quarts. So, well, it is 2 quarts, not basically. It is 2 quarts. We have hard water where we live, so I put in just a little bit of vinegar. Not much. Maybe a tablespoon. Ooh. I don't like to try to get the hard water off my pot. Let me see. All right, close the lid. See how that's center of that? So then when it shuts and then I close it, it should be center. Should be. Make sure that my gauge or my valve is on exhaust. And this thing is, it just pops off, see? So you gotta make sure it's on exhaust. It sits up a little. Maybe better this way, no? There, it's on exhaust. It's time to start the canner. I hit high. Set my timer for 30 minutes. Whoop. Then hit start. And then it'll go through its process. It does this for a while till everything heats up in here. That's the countdown, the beep and the countdown of 10 minutes of, I don't know if you can see it, of the steam coming out of that. You can just barely see it right there of coming out. Good. It'll count down 10 minutes now. It beeped 3 times. See how the steam is coming out? Now it's time to airtight. And then it will self-adjust. I don't have to do anything other than push it to airtight. And the pressure canner just beeped 3 times, let me know it's off. Now it's time to just unplug it. Unplug the canner and we wait for an hour. Do not mess with your valve. You leave it as it is, it will exhaust all on its own. You just walk away from it and leave it for an hour. It's been an hour, so we're going to do the exhaust. And nothing's coming out, so we're good. We'll open it. And then you want to, when you open it, you want to make sure your face is away from it because you don't want that hot steam to hit you in the face. They're still bubbling. Look at that. Oh, nice pretty jars. So, look how that's bubbling. See how they're bubbling? I heard one of them pop just a few minutes ago. I love that sound. That way you know the seal is working. And that is an awesome feeling, knowing that your food is going to be okay sitting on the shelf. And your family's safety of eating this food will be all right. So until next time, God bless you all. And remember to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it.